And this is a story which has been completely buried. I went on CNN, Sky News, BBC. This is buried at the bottom of their website like it's nothing. Children among dozens killed as masked gunmen ambush convoy of Egyptian Coptic Christians.
Blessed are the eyes that see what you see. For I tell you, many kings and prophets have desired to see what you see, and have not seen it. To hear what you hear, and have not heard it. I thank you, Father, for hiding these things from the learned and the wise, and revealing them to the innocent and the simple.
Gunmen opened fire on 2 buses and a truck carrying Coptic Christians in Minya, Egypt on Friday, killing at least 26, including children. Some 26 people were also injured in the attack. So more dead than those who tragically died in Manchester. They're not even talking about this. This is buried on every mainstream media website. Christians are being persecuted and slaughtered around the world, while our media continues to lecture us about Islamophobia. Let that sink in. 26 Christians slaughtered, just the latest example. They're talking about multiple 8 to 9 gunmen. Okay, are they going to say this is another lone wolf attack? Maybe it's just someone with mental health issues. No, this is another targeted slaughter of Christians because of their faith. It's happening in Egypt, it's happening in Syria, it's happening in Iraq, where, hundreds of thousands of Christians have left in the last 10 years. It's basically a war on Christianity. They don't want to talk about it. They want to keep the narrative to Islamophobia.
Egyptians who were murdered on Friday in a bus attack near Cairo were reportedly killed solely because they were Christians. Survivors of the attack said 10 masked Islamic State militants forced victims to leave the bus one by one and asked them if they were Christian before killing them. As each person left the bus, they were asked to renounce their Christian faith and profess belief in Islam, according to one of the chaplains, but all of them refused. Each person was killed with a gunshot to the head or throat, including children. On Saturday, the Islamic State claimed responsibility for Friday's killings.
Officials in the Philippines say foreign fighters linked to ISIS are among the militants trying to take control of a southern city. More than 44 people have died since terrorists launched their attack Tuesday against the city of Marawi on the island of Mindanao. Among the dead are 9 Christians executed for their faith. Philippine troops are carrying out precision attacks with tanks and rocket launchers to target the militants. The island of Mindanao has long been a base for homegrown Islamic radicals in the Philippines. Now government officials say they're trying to get outside help.
What's happening in Mindanao is no longer a rebellion of Filipino citizens. It has transmogrified into invasion by foreign terrorists who heeded the clarion call of the ISIS to go to the Philippines if they find difficulty in going to Iraq or Syria.
The Islamic State group has claimed responsibility for a car bomb that killed at least 13 people and wounded 30 others in central Baghdad. The bombing took place in a commercial street and targeted the mainly Shiite Muslim Karada district. Last July, the same district was hit by a massive truck bomb that killed over 320 people, an attack also claimed by ISIL. Both bombings happened during the Islamic month of Ramadan, when many stay up late and eat out after fasting.
Just last month, U.S. Marines fought a pitched battle in southern Afghanistan against Taliban fighters who've been launching one bold attack after another. The Taliban now control roughly 1/3 of Afghanistan, more than at any time since 2001, when the war began. Earlier this year, America's top commander in Afghanistan, John Nicholson, told the Senate Armed Forces Committee the war was stalled.
Are we winning or losing? Mr. Chairman, I believe we're in a stalemate.
16 years in, the Afghan war is costing America more than $3 billion a month. Back in 2014, the U.S. military was on its way out, handing Afghanistan's security over to the Afghans. U.S. troop strength, which had peaked at 98,000 in 2010, plummeted to 8,400. But now the Pentagon wants to reverse that. It's asked to add 3,000 to 5,000 more personnel, and for authorization to send U.S. forces closer to the front lines to back up Afghan soldiers who are often overwhelmed by the Taliban and dying in their thousands.
We begin in Sri Lanka, where more than 160 people have died, many others are missing, and hundreds of thousands of residents have been displaced after the worst rains in the Indian Ocean island since 2003. The country still faces the risk of more mudslides as torrential rains continue. Rescue crews and boats are picking up stranded families, and with more rain forecast, time is of the essence.
This viral Facebook video shows the moment 4-year-old Evelyn Lewis suddenly lost the ability to stand.
Tried real hard.
We really started to panic when we were rushing her to the hospital.
Doctors quickly diagnosing her with tick paralysis. Now her unsettling ordeal has become an urgent warning as experts brace for one of the worst tick seasons on record.
We're seeing more than we've ever seen before because of the mild winter we had, and also because there are more hosts. There's a white-footed deer mouse, it's called, that the ticks really love to attach to. So more mice, more ticks.
And more ticks means a potential surge in cases of Lyme disease and other rare but deadly illnesses like the Powassan virus. But there are ways to minimize your risk. Use bug repellent with at least 20% DEET. Make sure to spray your legs and feet.
The ticks don't fly, they crawl. So you want to protect yourself from the ground up.
And most importantly,
check yourself, check your kids, check your pets after being outdoors, and check in those hard to see spots like the scalp, behind the ears, the groin, and the armpits.
A bulldozed mound of dirt in a short stretch of no man's land is all that separates Iraqi forces from ISIS militants. An armored personnel carrier rolls in to provide cover. It's hard to tell if the troops were aiming at a specific target or putting on a display for our benefit. But the response from ISIS was very real. A mortar sent whizzing low over our heads and exploding in the rubble behind us. Near the old city, we found whole neighborhoods flattened.
The sheer level of destruction is staggering, and it goes on for miles and miles. But this is one tactic the Iraqi army cannot afford to employ in the old city if they want anything left of it.
The UN estimates 200,000 Iraqi residents are still trapped inside, and those who try to escape risk being caught in crossfire. We found 11-year-old Sarah at a hospital run by American medical volunteers, where Dr. John Lucy was treating her for a shrapnel wound.
And that has gone straight to the bone?
Yeah, this is right through her midfoot.
The orthopedic surgeon from Asheville, North Carolina, came out of retirement at 74 years old to do what he could in Iraq. He told us he was shocked by what he saw.
I came here, and probably the first 2 days, I could almost not take it, you know, because I've seen a lot of trauma, but I've never seen anything to this extent.
Dr. Lucy says the hospital is ready for more patients in the coming weeks. Hopefully, that will mean more families trapped inside the old city have at least escaped with their lives.